Ready for Pass, a new exhibit is now ready for you at the Michigami Moonshine Fine Art Gallery. This morning, Ansley Watson is there to tell us more about it. Good morning, Ansley.
Good morning, Vicki. I'm standing here in an exhibit filled with vibrant colors of paintings and creative pieces of works of art. I'm standing here, the exhibit's called Three Muses, and I'm here with two of the three muses. It's Laura and Christine. Thank you so much for being with me this morning.
You're welcome.
So I know there's a third one here, your friend. You're all three your friends. And Elizabeth, she couldn't be here today. But how did you guys all meet?
We met in college in the 1980s, and we all took art classes together at Northern, and we became good friends then. And then we went our separate ways, and now we've come full circle, back together again, and we share our art, critique each other, have a good cup of coffee and visit, and it's been wonderful to reconnect in the past couple of years.
Thank you. So stay with us to see more about their art. Reporting live in Michigami, Ansley Watson, TV6 News.
All right, this sounds like a great display. Thank you very much, Ansley. As we get ready for the day, you might be musing what to wear. Well, it's 10 after the hour. The Michigami Moonshine Fine Art Gallery has a new exhibit. It'll be there until the first week of November. So this morning, Ansley Watson is giving us a preview of what they have. Good morning, Ansley.
Good morning, Vicki. As you can see, I am surrounded by so many beautiful paintings here. I'm joined by one of the artists here. Her name is Laura Mays. Laura, thank you for being with us this morning.
Thanks for coming here.
So you have about 50 prints here, correct?
Prints and a few paintings, yes.
So we're standing in front of something, one in particular, it's pretty unique. Talk to me about this one.
This is a print, and it's made from off of a gelatin plate, an unflavored gelatin plate, and you apply ink to the gelatin, and when you put the paper over the gelatin and rub on it, the ink will transfer from the top of the gelatin, the surface of the gelatin, to the paper, and that's what you get.
That's incredible. I mean, you don't do that. You don't do the gelatin paints with all of them, though. You paint with other acrylics, I believe?
Acrylic paints on canvas. And I also sometimes apply acrylic paint to the print after it's completed, just to embellish it, bring out some of the hue. So,
how did you get started?
I always had a love for art. It's been my passion, and I wanted to be a dress designer. Well, and then I started going to college at Northern Michigan University and studied under John Hubbard. Well, I won't say how long ago it was, and I developed all of my skills and my the aspects of the art from his class and from the other professors at Northern Michigan University. And I received my Bachelor of Fine Arts degree and my major in printmaking, and I studied a lot of painting classes, and so I have a kind of a mix of both that I love to do.
Yeah. Talk to me. You've come to this art gallery for several years, correct?
Oh, yes. It's probably been in almost over 10 years now. I've had my work here, and I have a collection of about 50 pieces, some in storage, and that the owner shows if people take an interest in my work.
Now, I've got to ask, I mean, being an artist, you have all your original work in here, and you sell it. Are you emotionally attached to any of your pieces at all?
I was during the time that I painted it or printed it. I became involved emotionally with my work. I work with my emotions, and I listen to music, and I have some type of foresight on what I wanted to do, and developed with the hue structure and the brightness, but after the piece is done, I kind of separate myself from it. So I enjoy it when it's completed, but I don't have that same emotional attachment after it's done. So I mean, it's not that difficult for me to part with it.
And one more last question. Is there something in particular you like to paint the most, plants or animals?
Mine is mostly landscapes and non-traditional. usually. It's some of these, like the lily pads that are shown here on the wall. My brother took me out in his boat and he wanted me to do lily pads, so that's more realistic but in a non-traditional way. So it's not photorealism type of work, it's from my imagination.
All right,
Creativity.
Thank you, Laura. Stay with us. Christine Grillo will be with us next. We'll see all of her art. The exhibit lasts until November 7th, so come check it out. Reporting live in Michigami, Ansley Watson, TV6 News.
All right, thank you very much, Ansley. Boy, those were beautiful pieces of art,
absolutely.
and that Jello technique, that's
pretty unique.
interesting. I wonder how that got started.
Someone was hungry and spilled Jello somewhere.
Oh, yeah, that's the way I would start it, yeah.
Yes, Vicki, we are standing in front of some beautiful art here. The artist of this, Laura Grillo, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
You're welcome. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for coming.
I'm
to
sorry,
see our
and you're
work.
Christine, not Laura. We did Laura earlier.
Yes, Christine.
Sorry. So talk to me about this piece, Christine. It is gorgeous.
Well, this is, I call it Mystery Marsh, and it's the scenery that's so much a part of our Upper Peninsula that I've lived with most of my life, and we all drive by and see these marshes, and so they fascinate me, and I like to incorporate it into my artwork. And more than realism in this, there's patches of realism, but there's also the abstract with the addition of handmade paper and the shapes and the colors. And colors are another important part of my work, that I love color and try to keep the colors pure and very vibrant in my work.
What's your inspiration? What do you like to paint? Earlier, Laura was saying landscapes. What's yours?
Well, I like the marshes, and I like the water scenes, things from nature, of course, but I also do some abstract work. And when I worked with watercolors initially, that was the bent that direction I was going. And so I did more of the abstract work, where you work with shapes and colors and manipulating the paint, the watercolor itself, by pressing things into it, or getting unusual textures into the watercolor itself. And then in recent years, then I went into painting more realism again by painting outdoors and doing plein air painting, where I bring my easel out into the woods or by a lake scene and begin painting what I see.
Yeah, so here's your easel, and earlier you were telling me that you draw out what you want to paint first, or you even take pictures sometimes, right?
Right, I'll always take a photo of what I'm going to be painting so that I have it to refer to as a reference when I go back into my studio. But I'll always do a small value sketch on location where I identify shapes and things that I want to focus on in the painting itself. And then I begin applying layers of paint, and we go from there.
Now, Christine, what's the joy for painting for you?
For me, the joy of painting is to just be involved with the process, and to study. You know, I've studied other artists and look at their work and learn from that. And then so much of my career as an artist has been teaching art, teaching young people. Especially, I taught in the school systems for 20 years, and turning kids onto art is a big eye. It really is. It's an opportunity to give them that experience of working with color, or working with materials, and learning, you know, the right way to put things together to get what they want out of the drawing or the painting, whatever they're doing. Because kids are tough on themselves too, so they want to be taught and learn what they need to do to make it look the way they think it should look. So that's always a challenge for the kids.
Well, thanks, Christine. You and Laura produced some beautiful work, and Elizabeth as well. Come enjoy this exhibit, 3 Muses. It lasts until November 7th. Reporting live in Michigami, Ansley Watson will be back with more of your TV6 morning news after the break.